The name's Fox. Fox McCloud.
Who would have thought that one of Nintendo's most recognizable franchises would be about animals in space, flying around in ships, on their way to kill a giant monkey head who's an evil genius trying to take over the galaxy. Star Fox has proven to be one of the most unique of Nintendo's franchises and stand out from the rest in quite a few aspects. Last year saw the debut of the latest entry in this series, Star Fox Zero. It was met with mixed reviews, to say the least. Something criticizing the control scheme of the game, other things criticizing the story, the graphics, pretty much anything you can think of to signal that this is a bad game. As I'm recording this, it's been 1 year since Star Fox Zero has been released worldwide. I want to give this game the chance it never got. So, from a longtime fan, this is Star Fox Zero 1 year later. Now earlier, I put Star Fox Zero in line with the term a remake, but allow me to correct myself because that's not entirely an accurate statement to make about this game. The only aspect of remake that this game entails is reusing the same story from the original Star Fox and Star Fox 64. General Pepper calls upon Team Star Fox to take down Andross and save the Lylat system. It's a story we've all seen and heard before, but that's not why we play Nintendo games. When people play Nintendo games, you play for the gameplay, you play for the experience. Where Star Fox truly differs is in its control scheme. By utilizing the Wii U gamepad's gyro and second screen, you're able to simultaneously aim and target things that you couldn't do before in a Star Fox game. In previous titles, your ship's direction dictated where your shots would go. This usually meant you had to get in the middle of an enemy's flight path, pop off a few shots, and quickly turn out of the way to avoid being hit. But in Star Fox Zero, with the gyro aiming, what this means is that you can be, say, in the bottom left-hand corner, and you see an enemy ship coming in the top right. Instead of having to fly up to the top right and shoot, you can instead stay in the bottom left, aim to the top right, and fire at your enemies. Now, to be fair to previous titles, 64, Assault, they were able to do something similar by using charge shots, which allowed you to target and send a homing shot to an enemy. These are still around in Zero, but the difference is that you don't have to rely on them as much as before. Instead of having to fly around in a circle, waiting for your charge shot to latch onto an enemy, you can use the gamepad's reticle to get an enemy in your crosshairs and fire at them with just the lasers, not having to use any homing shots at all. In fact, by continuing to shoot at a ship as it's falling, you'll get an extra hit as you do so. This full control over aiming and firing really feels reminiscent of an arcade game, which Star Fox has always essentially been. By having a third-person view on the TV while simultaneously having a cockpit view on the gamepad, you gain the ability to see all around you without having to look at a map. Shigeru Miyamoto, the game's director, likens this control scheme to being in a control tower and flying a remote control plane, but being able to look back at yourself at the tower from the plane's view. Now, it's because of this, I cannot imagine playing Star Fox Zero without using the gyro or the second screen. While it is technically possible to play and complete the game without utilizing either of these two things, you would be at a severe disadvantage as well as missing the point of Star Fox Zero. The game was designed with these controls in mind, and they allow you to do things that you couldn't do before in a game. For example, when fighting Starwolf, you don't need to have them come behind you, do a somersault, and fire at them. While that still is a viable and useful strategy, you can now target and shoot at them from afar, even if they're at a 90-degree angle from you. This allows for quicker, faster paced action, and overall more fun, in my opinion. Moving away from motion controls, I think refreshing the series was a good idea by Nintendo. Zero sets a really good foundation to build from. But considering it didn't do so well, if this were the last Star Fox game, it's one hell of a game to go out on. The game will test you, whether you're a newcomer or a veteran to the series. Look back to when you were younger and you had to learn how to play a game for the first time. That's exactly what Star Fox Zero offers. The visuals of the game are great. They fit in line with previous Star Fox titles. If you're looking for photorealistic graphics, then you're going to be disappointed. But if you're looking for an art style and theme that suits Star Fox, then I think you'll enjoy it. The music of the game is great as well. A lot of the tracks are brand new, with a few returning tracks. My biggest gripe with the music is that you're probably not going to hear a lot of it due to the talking and other gameplay sounds. But if you listen to the music from the game's sound test or on YouTube somewhere, then you'll really see how great the soundtrack is. As far as the game's length, anyone who's played a Star Fox game knows that the point is to replay the levels over and over again in attempts to get a better score. While it would have been great to have more areas to play from, I do think having more of them only would have made the arcade route much more of a hassle to play with. In 64, almost all of the routes feel like they take about an hour and a half to complete, maybe even more. In Star Fox Zero, the route's playtime can range from 40 minutes to close to 2 hours. And I do appreciate the variety in gameplay, whether it's from the vehicles or the utilization of all-range mode. The variety in gameplay seems to have come from Assault. Instead of every area just being an on-rails section, areas range from dogfights, giant boss battles, to stealth sections. This variety in gameplay allows for repeat playthroughs to be more fun and dynamic, versus having each area essentially be a corridor section with a different theme. As a longtime fan of the Star Fox series, I do believe that Zero is the best entry. Combined with Guard, which trades the fast-paced shooting for more slowed-down tower defense, these two games allow Reboot to feel much more than just a rehash of what we already seen. When some people see Star Fox, they have their own ideas on how they want to see the series treated. But Star Fox came from simple ideas. It was inspired by the various kids shows that Miyamoto watched as a kid, mainly Thunderbirds. And I'm not saying the series should always stick to its childhood roots. Since its first debut, Star Fox has become its own thing. There's no point in trying to make Star Fox do what this game's already done, or this movie, or this series has already done. Fans of this series play these games because they like Star Fox. It's not because they want to see things take a completely different direction or mimic what something else has already done. Star Fox Zero stays true to the series, and that's why it delivers.